All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you're having an amazing morning and hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Carlos, I am doing good. I think like most of us, we're getting ready. We're getting geared up for this summit that we're having in Vancouver. I know that part of the team has already started to wing their way into the city, and I can't wait for my flight, which unfortunately is quite later tonight, even later than I thought. But
what time is it flight?
Leaves at 8:55, which means my time I'm getting in at about 2:45.
Yeah. Mine is at 6 something.
It's good. It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, it sure is. I'm flying in with Paris, so Paris will be on the flight with me. That should be fun. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how we can make the time go fast, man. 6 hours.
Excellent. 6 hours. Get some photos for us in the airport together.
We sure will. All right, friends, let's take a look at what's happening here. Right now, we're going to have jobs data come out. Let's go straight to the market and see what's happening there.
Yeah, we had a couple of pieces of information. This may be the highlight of the day. Who knows? It's been pretty quiet until this point. We did have our hourly earnings that came out. They came in right on target, like dead on. Forecasted a 3% increase in hourly earnings. It came out, a 0.3%. Came in at 0.3%. Same thing with the year over year, 4.1% was expected growth, and that's the exact number. The non-farm payrolls came in a little higher than expected. 212,000 was the forecast. 303,000 was the estimate. Was the actual. So that's a little higher than expected. And the unemployment rate was the one that, again, generally it's seen as good. It lowered slightly. The expectation was unemployment would stay fixed at 3.9 because that's what it was in the last two periods, but it came in at 3.8. So as you can see, the market tends to drop on that because you'd think it'd be a good thing if more people are employed. But again, in current market conditions, I know I've said this many, many times, but the market will react negatively to that because stronger economy generally means a need to increase interest rates by the Fed to combat inflation, and that is not good for capital purchasing power for companies. Thus, the market drops. So this is really on the fear of the Fed's reaction, not because unemployment itself means anything directly to the market, right? In fact, it should be good for companies, but anyways, here we are. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Later today, really, we have a few more Fed speakers. We had a whole bunch yesterday, a few more today. 3:00, we have the consumer credit number that comes out. Usually the market, well, I was going to say doesn't do much, but occasionally it can move. It's a Friday afternoon. Release of information, and with the lowered volumes you tend to see on Friday afternoons, we can sometimes get a market reaction. So we'll see if today is one of those days. As we all know, yesterday we had a crazy day in the market. So things were up, things were down. I was watching Tesla, and if you watch Tesla, I was convinced until midday that the market was going up, but everything else said, well, not so fast. And then Tesla finally realized what everyone else was doing and said, well, hold on, wait for me, and hurried to catch up. Look at Tesla's chart that Carlos has got on the screen. If you flip over to AMD, for example, AMD right out of the gate said, you know what, I'm just tired, man. Look at and it went down $18 on the day. It was a big move. So yeah, not an auspicious day here for certain offerings. Nvidia didn't fare as bad, but of course AMD is one of the ones I watch all the time. And as a short bias trader, did I take this short? Of course not. Anyways, best trade of their trader Blake did though. Best trade of his career, says their career. So there you go. So that's good. So some people took advantage of it. That makes me happy to hear that. So we'll see if today follows up with some more action, right? We had up days. We've had down days this week. We've had no volume days. I mean, this has been a week of just about everything where we're throwing everything in the kitchen sink in. So today, you know what? Roll the dice, man. At this point, it's impossible to tell what's going to happen. North American markets are slightly green, but when I say slightly, I mean slightly, 0.1%. And if I look around the globe, global markets are mixed. We're down slightly in Japan and the European exchanges. Well, as I said, we're up slightly in North America, and commodities are just all over the place. So who knows? Carlos, we're going to find out together. And I can't say that we have a lot of earnings. So not a lot of earnings to go here today. And frankly, not a lot on our gappers list. So we may be making conversation.
That's absolutely right. Here's our gappers list right now, guys. Not a whole lot on here this morning. I see not coin, but overall Bitcoin, Mara, CleanSpark, and Riot all on our gap down list. We'll see what coin is doing in just a second here, and then a couple in the green. We'll dive into that. So Control A, Control X is going to clean up our list. I think a lot of those are going to come right back. I mean, yesterday was just wild. You look at Meta, you look like you mentioned Tesla, the moves these stocks made. Meta hitting all-time highs yesterday, I believe, right? Look at Meta yesterday. So it's been wild. So a lot is probably going to come back depending how the overall market is acting today. Taking a look at the first one here is going to be GCTS. GCTS is a $12 million 12 million shares float. So right here we have 90% up this morning, 5.7. Go ahead.
And there's different numbers. I see only a 4 million share float. It depends what service you look at. So, but low, right? We got a market cap of under 50 million, and this is a semiconductor company. So,
Yeah, again, if you're a low flow trader, this is in play. Tons of volume here, up 100%. Definitely added to your list. It has ran up before, guys. Gone from $12. I don't remember seeing this last week. Looks like $12 all the way to 45. So as high as 55. So it can move. It did that with what is this? 4.3 million shares traded. That is such light volume. It must have probably halted a couple of times on the way up. But yeah, today we have almost we're getting to almost double that pretty soon here, 5.8. So we'll see how that goes.
And they have big news. Big news for this company. Major contract. Aramco has signed them on to help develop the 4 and 5G networks in Saudi Arabia. So for a company of this size, right, that's big news and a big opportunity for them. So it's on the basis of that contract that we're seeing this stock price almost double this morning. And as you said, like a lot more volume than they typically get. So this may very well be in play. I think we still have to treat it as a low float, right? Hard to borrow, I see up there. Low float type stock. But, looking around, there's not a lot else. So why not?
Yeah. We'll put it on here, guys, on a risky pile. Next is going to be CADL, which I also see a 15.6 million shares flow. So lower flow here as well. It is up. I'm sorry, excuse me. No, that's not the flow. Oh, yeah, that is the flow. Yeah, 15. 7.9 million shares traded, up 16%. So also another one that's high flying. This started to get hot yesterday. So yes, you see the move here. Peter, what's driving this today?
They're curing cancer. So they have very positive results from a phase 2 pancreatic cancer study. As a biotech, this is typically the news that moves these companies. I'm surprised that they're only up 14%. But anyways, they do have very positive news out of that phase 2 study. You can see big volume, even though the increase has been surprisingly modest. Again, in play, maybe this might be one that it'll take off. I don't love it, to be honest, because we don't typically love these stocks. I mean, look at that daily, right? And it obviously did nothing until it gets this type of news, and then it goes nuts. So just treat it with extreme caution.
Yeah, fully agree. Today, second day of play here. I don't know. I don't like it too much at the moment. It's up 14%. What's up even higher in the pre-market this session here, coming down a little bit. So just be careful on it. You do have shares for short somehow on this thing. Not much, 150,000 with Interactive Brokers. That'll be gone pretty soon. SMR, let's take a look here. SMR is another one that's been on our list more often than not. For the most part, this is scale, which I usually don't end up watching. I don't like the way it trades, and today's not going to be any difference because I don't see
No,
anything that's making it more exciting than what I've seen before.
don't
Yeah,
like it. I think we can bin that baby.
yeah. Let's go ahead and do just that. There's a
Oh, we get
truck
the whole
for
truck.
get the whole truck for that one.
That
There it
truck's on its
is.
way to Vancouver, by the way, because we need more garbage trucks. If anybody knows that trading office that Andrew worked out of.
Yeah. Oh man. Here it is. Soundhound, always on our list.
Yeah.
This morning once again. I don't know, man. It's just not for me. I don't know if you guys like this one, but I'll leave that one alone. Now, getting to our gap down, we got a couple on here. We had Mara, we had Riot, and we had Clean Spark. They all
Cleans.
disappeared. Left
Yeah.
only Mara at the moment. Mara's down 2.2. Very light volume though. 677 is extremely light. These guys normally by now 1.7, 2 million. It's normal for them, right? So light volume for them this morning as they're down a little bit. Coin took a nice dive yesterday too. So coin dived a little bit here. We're down 2.6. Volume should be coming up here and getting into our gap down list. Um, but I guess worth watching at least one or two of these. We'll put Mara and Coin here for now. We do have
Yeah, I mean
space.
they just popped onto our list because at 8:30, the Bitcoin prices dropped by about $1,000 from 67 to 66,000. I noticed pretty much all of the crypto miners and that popped up, but then they recovered a little bit. So yeah, they're just not over the 2% gap mark at this moment to make our list. So Bitcoin's doing his little Bitcoin thing. It usually settles down, and these things will move with the market.
Yeah, yeah. So here is BTC. Again, not much going on. I'll put them on here for now. They both might not stay there. We might make some changes to that. Peter, that's our list. Well, what do you got on your end?
I have no earnings. I was hoping there would be some interesting offerings today. There are not. Look, after the big move yesterday, I think we have to watch AMD. That was just it just was selling on selling, and it would not relent until the closing bell. So that's something worth watching. And if you look at AMD versus pretty much any other offering in the market, it dropped significantly more. I think Nvidia was only down about couple percent. AMD was down about 4 or 5% by the end of the day. So, yeah, it was a much bigger move on AMD than on others. So we got to keep an eye on that today to see if it continues or recovers. Yesterday, Tesla. I was just fascinating. Tesla went up, and you thought, oh my God, what a big bullish day. If you left for a little while, like I think couple people said they did and came back, and then they found these positions they thought were doing so well all got stopped out because it again went up the mountain and rolled back down the other side. So unbelievably, this thing that looked like it was just green forever, if you're here at noon, by 1:30 was heading back and turned out to sort of close where it started. So anyways, I think that Tesla we've got to keep an eye on today. After that, it's pretty much your choice of favorite stocks, right? Whether you want Amazon. We were talking about Amazon yesterday here in the room. Amazon made some interesting moves. Meta, that Carlos you'd mentioned already, might be a candidate for today. Of course, Nvidia is always moving, as is Apple, but no expectation that any of those have something specific going on. But it's they're probably worth putting on the list. So that's what I got. AMD and Tesla for me. Those are the two that I'm going to keep the closest eye on, because I really have to admit I don't like anything else on our list. So Tesla and AMD are my two buddies.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're going to our usual suspect, friends. Let's start with you guys, see what you guys like this morning. We'll start over here in our chat room and see what's on deck. Overall spy, yeah. What else we have going on? Anything you guys like this morning? I don't see a lot of tickers being thrown out. Our good buddy Joshua over on YouTube did mention Apple, so we'll take a look. I know you mentioned it as well right now. Let's take a look at what Apple is up to. Could be interesting. I like the daily on Apple. This 168 area that has been good support for even yesterday with the sell-off, right? Went up to 172, right back down to, again, where it found support in the past, bounced off of that, and today we're getting a nice bounce off of that support as well. So that could be nice today. And if the SPY, depending on what the overall market wants to do, which again, it is Friday, so it's a little tricky. I know some people are off this week as well for the holidays, right? Um, so it could be a little funky. So we'll see. We'll see how it is. Um,
It'll be
mo-
funky.
yeah, yeah, sure will be. Let's see here. What do you guys like this morning? Nothing. Usual suspects for Sunday. Yeah, Meta's the one that I'm gonna be watching as well. Meta was great yesterday. Meta was so nice. And if I look at it here, let's take a look. We're getting. I won't be surprised if we have a strong day today. If Meta's hitting these numbers again, I mean, they just have overall great news. And again, I don't want to say I knew it, but I go, oh, Meta's dead over here. I'm like, no, he's gonna. You heard it here. I kept saying it. He's gonna figure out a way to get to do what he does. These guys usually does. These Mark Zuckerbergs, these Jeff Bezos, these Elons of the world. They figure it out somehow, and here it is, back all time highs. That's what they do, man. Right? That is what they do. So I like Meta. I'm gonna be adding that one to the list here this morning. PLTR. What? How did PLTR do yesterday? I know they had that big wow, they sold off. I didn't look at this. Look at a nice sell off yesterday. Some strong move, a partnership with who was it? Google? Was it Google? I forgot already.
Uh,
They're partnered
Sounds
with
right.
someone.
Was it
Oracle.
Oracle? Oracle. Thank you.
There you go.
Yes.
So that was the news there, but that did not hold for long. Could be interesting
That was
today,
right.
but not a whole lot of volume right now. If you know PLTR, they love to trade heavy pre-market volume. So we just need more news to come out of that whole partnership or deal, and hopefully that can get it going again. But right now, pretty quiet. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of PLTR and the way it trades. I think the price action is a little bit weird compared to other tickers I like to trade. So I'll be watching something else. Got burned on PLTR yesterday. Yeah, why? Why did you get burned? Was it the trading? I mean, like the price action? Because looking at that chart, this looks great right now, right? But again, it's just weird sometimes.
You just have to guess wrong. I mean, hell, I kept trying to reverse things I didn't want to reverse, so I didn't have a good day yesterday.
I hate those days. Been there, done that. You just trying to put your will against the market, and
You know what? And 'cause I'm
yeah,
a reversal trader, so I'm always
yeah,
looking for the reversal. And the thing is, most days that works. Trend
right,
days, when it looks like it should be
yeah.
easiest to trade, actually do not favor me. And I have to be very careful. And I was not as careful as I should have been yesterday. I was in meetings and prepping for this summit, and I was just taking trades without paying too much attention, and then basically got stopped out in pretty much all of them. So, you really do have to pay attention all the time and understand what you're good at and what you're not. And I've gotten better at when I see trend days, I'm like, it's just not me, man. So I'll back off, which is good for me because there are a lot fewer of these trending days than there are choppy days, and I trade much better in the sort of the choppier days, not super chop, but the movement days. So, anyways, I had the right idea, and Tesla, for example, I just wasn't able to stick with it long enough, and I kept trying and trying, and then it finally did what I was looking for, but I'd given up just minutes earlier. Ain't that the way?
Yeah,
Welcome to trading. The way
absolutely.
it goes. So
It's funny. When you watch shows and you see people holding their coffee cup on any show, any movie, and you could tell there's nothing in it because it just looks so fake. And they take a
yeah.
sip on it, Peter. It's like it just looks so awkward, right? Because there's nothing in there. I get why they don't actually drink something because I drank something and then try to talk and that didn't work too well. But it's like it looks so fake. It bothers me. Like just put something in this so at least it can have some weight.
It's all real here.
Yeah, all real here,
We
guys. You
drink
saw me
real
almost
stuff.
choking there trying to get my conversation going. Um,
Whether it's water or whiskey, we drink, or coffee, we drink the real stuff here.
all before the market open. So here it is, friends. Someone's asking who was this question here over in our chat. Robin. So we often say what looks like a good chart, what looks like a bad chart, and yeah, we could explain a little bit because there are newer people that do join and don't know exactly what we're talking about. Here's a great example. Let's look at Nvidia. Let's say this was your chart, right? Let's say this is horrible. Why? The wicks overlapping every previous candle. This is really bad trading, right? So when we look at a chart, if this is what I'm looking at, that is a horrible chart. I don't like the patterns here. Now let's zoom out a little bit and let's see when it starts trending. See how beautiful this is connecting now? See how nicely you're getting into a trend. You got some good pullbacks, some good drops. That is a very clean chart. And then that you could look at any time frame. If you look at, let's see if Nvidia has, I know who's going to have a bad one. KO. We'll go to KO's daily, and yeah, look at this. This is brutal. I mean, my eyes hurt when I look at this, right? So we're usually looking at, look at the wicks. Look at this day here. What is this? To 18 million shares, right? It's actually a lot, but that is nasty. You don't want to see that. And then you look at something like Meta actually.
Ford.
Oh, Ford, yeah. Ford is another one. Actually, a couple of big days here with Ford. Not bad.
Relatively big days. Those are 50-cent days, right? So.
Yeah, relatively. Right. So we're looking at how the candles are forming and how they're connecting with each other, and also the volume. And if they're overlapping, it could be more choppier than not. So again, we're looking at it hindsight, right? Sometimes we see a stock that looks horrible and it traded well for the day, right? XOM, look at this. So Melanie over in our YouTube chat mentioned XOM. This is up nicely. It's been trending very well here over the last couple of days. Let's see here. I know oil prices are up, right? So that's not good.
Oil and gold, it seems. So yeah.
So that's not great. But I don't know how is it going to trade though. We'll put it on here. I know this is hot at the moment. What just happened there? My key got stuck. So XOM, I'll put like XOM. Like no. What's going on? All right. What else, friends? What else we have? Take a look over in our YouTube chat. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton as we do this show live here. We'd love to get to our goal of 160 likes for the day. No tickers in our YouTube chat. Peter, what a day. We're just gonna go to the airport and wait for our flights.
It's a quiet brutal one. So we'll see. They'll give me some time to work on some material that I've been having a lot of fun with, I admit, but it's a lot more.
Me and you have to connect. I know we've been trying to me and Peter have been trying to connect for like the last 3 days, right? To have a conversation, right. and we've been missing each other. So we have to do that.
All right, let me address this boot camp question. I didn't realize our boot camps were listed weird, like winter, spring, and fall. So winter would be the one that starts in January that we just finished. Spring boot camp is the one that starts in May, and then fall is September. So those are our 3 times of year when we start the boot camp.
Yeah, we should put the month on there, probably.
Yeah, if you're looking for the next one would be spring. But you can sign up for the fall one. If you're not ready, you can always sign up now, take advantage of the pricing before it increases, and lock in your fall boot camp if you want to do that. So P Capital Trading, we had this boot camp. We don't usually talk about it when we talk about the different deals we've got. But that's 3 times a year, and it's I don't know. I think it's a great session. But again, ask the people who went. Don't ask us. But I think there's a number in the room that. And that's probably confusing because that would mean different things depending where in the world you are. So I think that's very fair. Having lived in Australia for a few years, you would have totally different months on.
Winter, we gotta put the months on there so it'll be more clear for everyone when we start January, May, and September. So we'll recommend that to the people that handle that for sure. So it's good feedback. We're having meetings this weekend on that, so we'll bring that up. So
let's talk about bootcamp because Reb is also asking a question. When is one ready? That's a good question. I would say you're ready. You're not ready for bootcamp if you literally just started trading, because you will not. You could go, but you will not get the most out of the experience because you really want to have a familiarity of who you are as a trader, at least initially. A little bit of understanding of how to use tools, what the market terms mean. You don't want to be figuring all of the basics out like that as you're trying to get into this pretty intensive camp. So ideally, it's somebody who's been trading for at least a couple of months, who's got a little bit of handle on the basics, and then says, I want to really accelerate this, or I've got a strategy, but I'm not sure if I like it, or I don't know what to do with it, right? I don't know how to develop it. I think I like to trade the open, but I seem to lose money, right? If you've got a little bit of experience and you want to sort of then really build upon it, or if you've got a whole bunch of experience and you've hit a stagnation point, a point where I'm not progressing in my journey. We've had traders that have been trading for years and have said, I want to sort of get to that next level. And we've been able to give them a process by which they can then sort of evolve their trading and grow from there. So it is, look, it's one of the, I always want to warn people, you're paying good money for this thing. I want to make sure we all want to make sure that you get value out of it. And it's pretty intensive. right? So if you're working a full-time job and you've got a young family, like, be very judicious about where you spend your money, because this camp is, we say, if you really want to get full value, you need at least 30, if not 40 or 50 hours a week over the 3 months to focus on it, because you're going to want to actually trade the markets, but you're also going to want to be able to absorb all the material we provide, which is about 8 to 10 hours a week of new material every single week during boot camp. We also have live trading sessions. You're also going to need to, like, do your homework, right, which is about creating your own journals and your strategies and doing some analysis and, all that stuff that you need to do. So it's not for the faint of heart. We'll be very honest with that, but that's part of why we built it that way, because we want to make sure it has something for everybody. So if all of that scares you, good, you're paying attention. If you have questions, check out the Peak Capital Trading website. There's got tons of material on there, or email us. We're all here. We're all available. Carlos, Peter, Mike, Eamon, Megan, we're all part of the Peak Capital boot camp. So all our first names at peakcapitaltrading.com, and you can find us, and we're happy to answer your questions. So, and Rev Free, yes, I did mention that earlier. You can absolutely buy now and go in the fall. So,
Robert, we were going to answer your question, but I see someone did already. Yeah, that's the Magnificent Seven right there: Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Google, Amazon, and Meta. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, you're missing Tesla, I believe. Oh, yeah, and Tesla. Yeah, Tesla. You got it on there. Good. So that is what's considered the Magnificent Seven stocks that people are usually looking at that make a big part of the overall market. Friends, this is what we have: Mara, Coin, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, Meta, and I got some secondary here: XOM, AMD, and BTC. And we're just talking about American Airlines. Not really in play right now, but man, look at the drops over the last couple of days here, right back to an area of support. So I like that there for long-term purposes. Yeah, that is nice.
Are you flying American Airlines? Are you going to help lift them up?
No, I am flying United. And United owns Newark here. Everything is United, but it's United operated by Air Canada. So I'm trying to change my flight to sit next to Paris, and I can because I can't do it with United. It's such a mess. But yeah, it's Air Canada United that I'm going with up there. How about yourself? Are you taking that same airline you took that kind of left you in the middle of nowhere?
Absolutely not. I will never take that airline again in my life. That's a commitment I've made to myself and my wife, who never even got to go on the trip.
Yeah.
So no, but I am flying another relatively small carrier. The one that I'm never flying again is called Flair Airlines. It's an ultra low cost carrier. It's basically Canada's answer to Spirit.
Spirit, so, and what's the other? Spirit? Some other one that are low cost.
You don't want to do that. So, anyways, look, my return flight, I'll give Flair this. My return flight, totally seamless, worked fine. It was super cheap. The problem is I never got there. The flight out just never left. So to me, it's like hit or miss. Like, it's great that it's cheap. It's great when it works, but when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. So yeah. So, but I'm never just going to do it again. It's not worth the risk. But no, I'm flying Porter Airlines, which is another small Canadian carrier. But I've flown Porter many years. I actually like them a lot. So, yeah, it should hopefully all be fine today. We'll find out.
Yep. Joseph says he worked for Continental at Newark for years. Yeah, I loved Continental back then. Friends, let's get to our webinars happening for the next 2 weeks. Not a whole lot on this list right now. We'll come back and see if we could find something else. But let's go over to bearwithtraders.com and we'll look at what's happening for the next 2 weeks, starting with Monday. Wait.
Even before Monday, I got to start on Sunday, Carlos, because Bearable Traders, we've got our summit in Vancouver that starts here on Sunday, and as you can tell, I'm pretty excited about it. I've been talking about it for the last few days because obviously it's on our mind as we're all getting there. If you didn't get a ticket, well, it's been sold out for quite a while. But I want to give a special shout out to two of our members, Andrew and Bill. Andrew and Bill had both bought tickets to the summit, and they both, unfortunately, life happens, right? And they're unable to make it. What they very kindly did is they said they wanted to pay it forward and help another trader that wasn't able to go maybe get that opportunity to go to the summit. So rather than trying to sell it or just let it go, they paid it forward and sort of donated their ticket into the cause. I think that's fantastic. That just shows great community members they are and part of the community. So thank you both, and congratulations to I think it was Tom and Michael, who both were able to sort of pick up those tickets, who are going to be able to go thanks to Andrew and Bill. So I just want to thank them for that. I think it's fantastic that they did that. I'm saying it also because if there's anyone else that can't make it, like, don't let your ticket go to waste, right? If you want to donate it forward, I've got a list of people who are eager to go. So, let me know directly. Email me, Peter at bearbulltraders.com, and I'll happily make the connection and make sure someone gets to use your ticket. So, but thank you so much again to Andrew and Bill for paying it forward. The event's coming up soon, man. It starts in 2 days. Prior to that, on Saturday, we will have a special event for all of our Peak Capital boot campers who can make it. It's completely free for boot campers. They're going to be having a special reception in our offices in Vancouver, and I'm sure there'll be lots of pictures taken, and there'll be food and drink, even though it's morning. There'll be lots of stuff going on, so it should be a lot of fun, and then the activities start from there. So it'll be a very busy weekend and busy Monday for us. Just for your awareness, for all of our members in the room, we used to do these a couple of times a year. Now we're only really doing them sort of the once, I think, is our target, right? One time per year. So in 2024, this may be the one summit we do this year. But it means that the chat room gets a little sparse in terms of our coverage from our moderators. What we're going to do is we're going to put a camera on so you can see what you're missing. But we don't have the ability to pipe in the sound. We're working on that, but I don't think that's going to work. So you won't be able to really attend virtually. I'll just show you what you can't see. So, but it means that there may be a lot of quiet times on the microphone in the room. Normally we have people on every minute that the markets are open, but Monday will be a little quiet. So just be ready for that, as we're all going to be there. And I think there's only a couple of us that aren't able to make it, unfortunately, usually because their visas weren't approved. So we may ask Eamon to do double duty, but the poor guy, man, he hasn't been able to make any of these meetings. And he's always like pulling extra duty in the room when we're off having a lot of fun with our members in person. So we may not lean on them too heavily, but just be aware of that. Okay. So Monday in the room, Carlos and I are going to do the pre-market show live. Carlos, we're going to have to figure this out, because we're going to be waking up at the butt crack of dawn to do this on the West Coast time. And that's going to be after what is going to be a late night. So, yeah,
that's going to be so just on itself. Yeah.
So we apologize to everybody right now that Monday's pre-market show may be very entertaining, but also rough. So we'll see how it goes. We're used to doing it, so we know what we're in for. But they're fun. But yeah, they tend to, and plus add all the technical complications that we typically have when we go to these sites. So it should be interesting. Anyways, all that being said, really looking forward to the summit, but life continues here. Carlos, maybe you can tell me, though, what's happening with the onboarding class Monday? Because we will be in Vancouver, and there's a lot of conflicting stuff happening.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I'm going to try to sneak into someone's computer and run this in Andrew's office or something. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll figure it out. It's happening. It'll happen. I just don't know how yet. Yep.
All right. Well, that's I like the recommendations, by the way, we're getting. Somebody's saying a lot of coffee, and then on YouTube I see Pig Rustler saying vodka and Red Bull. So you know what, whatever works, right? So we can, it's you can't wake up tired if you don't go to bed. So I mean, I guess we could just stay up all night and make that a dream a reality. But I every time I get into this West Coast time zone, I'm like, I don't like this. No wonder people find it difficult trading on the West Coast. So anyways, you do what you got to do, right? So Monday will be the onboarding class. One way or the other, we'll figure it out. It's great for new members, or if you just want information on what you can get out of the Bear Bull trading community. 8:00 on Monday is that session. Tuesday is when we do trade book and strategy. So everybody will be back in their regular environs, and Thor will be doing the trade book session on Tuesday, April the 9th, talking about how you can master the art of effectively taking strategies, taking trades, and he's going to show you his strategies for doing so. That's at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, April the 9th. And then the week after, Paris on April the 16th will help you unlock your trading with his psychological insights. So he's going to talk on the strategy and a little bit of the psychology, because you really can't separate the two. But that will be on April the 16th. Wednesdays, we focus exclusively on psychology, and that's when Jared Tendler is going to be giving the next in his series on how to improve your psychology, and that'll be on April the 10th at 8 o'clock, once again in the webinar room. And then the week after, Mike himself will be with us on April the 17th at 8 o'clock, restarting sort of his journey to embracing a process-oriented mindset and how you can sort of master the psychology. He knows all about it. He's also written a book. In fact, Jared and Mike have both written books about psychology and how you can apply it to trading. So it's worth picking up both those. If you haven't, both are available on Amazon. Go check it out. And then Thursdays, as we did yesterday, and we always do, we have our mentorship sessions. Next Thursday, John will be doing his mentorship session. John, who will be hopefully still have his eyesight after he's a big space guy, if you didn't know that. And he's going to be focusing on the eclipse that's happening. That's, by the way, happening on Monday too. So unfortunately, I've checked it out. Vancouver is well out of the target zone for the eclipse. I think they're getting like a 15% eclipse or something. It's not in that prime zone that sweeps up through the northeastern US and into southern Canada. But John is going to be driving to a mountaintop to watch it. He's got his special equipment all set. He's very excited. So after he's done with that, he'll be back to do his Thursday mentorship session at 11 o'clock. And you can enjoy that and ask your questions, get in depth on any topic you want. Jared and Megan then on Thursday at 2 o'clock always do their option trading focused session, and then Thor does his session at 8 p.m. So that's what we got for you. It's going to be exciting as always. So that's what we got coming up over the next week or two. And if you want information that never sleeps, you know where you go for that? You go to tradingterminal.com. It's the place to go to get all your information on the market. So check out tradingterminal.com. I was just there this morning taking a look at Paris's course, which he's got in the Academy, or you can use the scanners, which I will be looking at this morning because with so little on our gappers list, I'm going to be relying a little bit more on the scanners than I normally do. Not a big part of my trading, but on days like today, I find them very useful. So we'll have to pay attention to that. And if you want to join us at Bear Bull Traders, because you never want the fun to stop, well, you can. We have a number of membership options from our intro offer, which is $39 if you're just joining off the website, $24 by listening to us here this morning. Use the code premarket24 to get access to that $24 discounted price. The basic or elite monthly, the elite annual, the elite platinum, which combines the boot camp with it. It's a great deal. Check them out. They're all available on our website. You can't miss them when you go to our entrance page. Just scroll down and you will find them right there. So hopefully you'll consider one if you haven't. And if you're just on YouTube, well, we love you anyways. And we thank you for being here. Give us a good old thumbs up. That really helps the growth of the channel. And we greatly appreciate it. So there you go. That's all the news that's fit to print. And we will then set levels on what we can and get ourselves ready for this open, which is coming up fairly soon here.
All right. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. Friends, let's take a look at what we have here. We have Mara, we have Coin, Tesla, Amazon, Apple, and Meta. So we'll do levels for that. Again, not a blockbuster list. Some of this stuff is just our usual suspects, and some of it was in play yesterday, and we'll see what it does today. So not a whole lot going on. I did see someone mention Donut. Let's see what's going on with Donut today. Just made our gappers list, was not here earlier on. And the gap up has not changed, but the volume has. So that's probably what they made our list this morning. So again, nothing really big on it at the moment. So I don't see anything overly exciting on this one. Very light volume. It had a great pop a few days ago, last week, and then now it's just kind of dying down on the overall volume. So
have they hit the shelves yet? I mean, the news was that they were going into McDonald's. So yeah. I don't. Maybe somebody spotted a donut in the wild at McDonald's or something. I don't know.
I am not sure, but man, it's again my head is stuck in old prices, man. I went in there a week or two ago, and I got 6 donuts. It was like $18. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, how can this be so expensive? It's just crazy, and it's just not them. It's just everywhere. Like if you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you get a donut, it's $1.50 for a donut. I'm just not used to that. I'm not. I don't buy this stuff much, but I'm just not
You
used to
haven't
that.
had a luxury donut then, because they're a lot more expensive than
See
that.
the
So
the luxury donut ones that I think we went to with Brian. That's okay. I don't mind paying $5 for something that was featured on TV and it's like you do it once. Okay, you pay $5, $6, no problem. When we went downtown here, we did some of that as well with Brian and Andrew. But Dunkin' Donuts, come on now, let's get it together.
is it,
Um,
I want to know, is anybody here in Louisville or Kentucky? Because apparently those were the test cities for, test areas for the Krispy Kreme McDonald's thing. They did originally just 9 stores in Louisville and then expanded to broader in Kentucky to 160 different locations. So I just want to
yeah,
know what happened. Like, what was it like? Did you go? Were they stale? Did you try one? Did they? I'm
the
waiting for the.
first time I had it was in Kentucky. It was in the South, and because they didn't have one up here, we was on some kind of work trip, and it was pretty good.
You think McDonald's is going to go nuts at one point, and they'll do like, remember how KFC, they did the double down? They had, like, instead of bread, they actually had, I think it was the chicken breasts on the outside, and it was like chicken burger. So I'm waiting for the donut burger. They replaced the bun with donuts, Krispy
Oh
Kreme
no,
donuts.
oh
I
no.
don't know. I figure it's got to happen at some point, right? They can't
It
miss
won't
that
shock me.
opportunity.
Won't shock me. All right, friends, back to our
8 million calories exactly, and
it's
free
insane
defibrillation with every purchase.
madness. All right, friends, let's do our watches here. We'll start with Mara. Let's do some levels and low of the pre-market this morning down to 1780. Below that, we do have a level of 1740. Highs and lows for the last 2 trading days above the pre-market high here with the previous day close. So we'll see where Mara goes here. Again, a little bit of some weakness over the last couple of days. Just in case we drop lower, we're going to mark down. There's 2 areas that are worth noting: 1659 and all the way down here. I know this might look small on your screen. 1604, I think, are worth putting on there. All right, head over to coin. Another one that's also showing some weakness as well. Low of the pre-market right now, slamming to the low of the last 2 trading days. Below that, we're going to mark down 236.36, and then a few more levels on here, 228.61, and then down here over at 216.12. So that kind of covers us there for coin. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. The conversation of donuts is still going on here in our
No.
chats. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna hide this chat. I'm not gonna read it no more. You guys are making me laugh here.
It's entertaining though.
It is a lot of fun in our YouTube chat as well. Can even look there. They're talking about donuts and all kinds of stuff. So excellent. Guys, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so already over in our YouTube chat. We really appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at Tesla. Man, Tesla continues to drop. Um, Tesla, I did not know that Hertz put in like these whole entire orders for Tesla. I did not know that. I don't rent cars from Hertz, but that's the report out that they had like 100,000 cars that they bought for Tesla, and now nobody wants to rent them.
Yeah,
So
there was the news. I can't remember, about a month ago. They
yeah,
announced they were selling off about 2/3 of their fleet, and
right.
yeah, it was something like 100,000 cars because the rental, it was more challenging to rent. They just the infrastructure is not quite there that it made it effective as a rental all the time. So
Well, think about it, right? Even if you love Tesla, right, and you fly into a new city you've never been, do you really want to spend the time to find out where the charging stations are and plan all that? No, you want to get in a car, go and do whatever you want, and just put gas in 5 minutes. So whoever thought that was a good idea, they need to be fired. Like you got to get fired, but whatever.
it makes sense as a novelty, but yeah, I guess it was
Uh,
it was getting tougher for your business
For
to.
rentals, no. For rentals, I mean,
Yeah,
it's tough for rentals. Like people that own it and have a charging station at home. My brother has one. It's great. He commutes to work, no problem, right? But if
yeah.
you come here, I mean, I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, so that's not good. But here, Tesla, man, showing a lot of weakness as they continue to drop here. They were in the green this morning, so I don't know if anything else going on that's making them change directions. They look good. 1.3 million shares traded, surrounded by the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. And once I put the high and the low, I don't think you need to add anything else. So we're set on Tesla here. Let's take a look. until they have battery swap. Yeah, and the repairs too. That was another thing they were mentioning. The repairs on a Tesla are like really expensive. They said that the repairs for hers was 4 times more than their regular cars as far as damages, because people didn't know how to drive them, how to slow down, aggressive, how fast they take off. So it was just a whole bad thing there for them. Back on Amazon here, guys. High of the pre-market, and Amazon, by the way, it's not really in play. Freaking Peter. Oh boy, there we go. We're gonna have a lot of that over in Vancouver.
I was just reading this article, and then I realized this was the picture they put at the top of the article. I'm like, that's America right there.
That's a
Look,
hard
they even like make it look
Wow.
like it's sitting on an American flag. Like I mean,
No, that's the picnic table thing that.
But it's not.
Uses.
There's no cross hatching, right? It looks sort of picnic table-ish, but then you realize it's got that subtle "this is America" vibe to it, right?
Yeah.
It's America. Anyways, I think it's just.
It is awesome. Oh man. Anyway. All right, friends. Let's go here. Amazon this morning. We have highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. I was mentioning this was not really in play, but we'll watch it today. See if we can get some strength out of this one. High of the pre-market 182.20, low of the pre-market 180.47. All right, next we have what is on here? Apple. So Apple on there. What do we got going on? Apple. Yes. So Apple here this morning. Another one that again doesn't look great, but I like the bounce we're getting off the level of support here of 168.82, the previous day close. We're going to mark down the high of the pre-market. It's going to be 170.10, and then low of the pre-market is just slamming right into it. So yeah, I love it. Towards the bottom, again, this good support continues here, right? So good support there. We're bouncing off of that. Do we have anything below this going back to October, November timeframe? Looks like right on here. The next level I see is 167.98. We'll slam one there just in case. But there is Apple. Not much volume. Sideways right now. We'll wait to see how the market open treats this thing. Here is Meta. Meta at the moment, again, showed a lot of strength yesterday, man. Great move. And then everything just sold off. Who was the Fed speaker that said, hey, if inflation keeps staying high, we might not need to cut at all this year? And the market said, what? Down here we go. So let's see. 518 high of the pre-market, 512 Kawasaki. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. 512.25 here as well, low of the pre-market for Meta. And then you have your highs and lows surrounding the price action at the moment. So there it is, friends. That is our list right now. Again, not a blockbuster list, but we'll see how the market moves things. Eyes on scanners, and we will definitely find something to trade today. Let's take a look at our moderators list. Going to bring this over. There's not a whole lot here right now. We do have Eamon potential. Let me bring this a little wider. Eamon potential long for today. AMD and Apple, both risky. I do like Apple for a potential bounce as well. Peter, 2 IPOs for today listed there. Your watch list this morning: AMD, Tesla, and Meta, and also trading terminal scanners. We'll see how that plays out there. Anything else? We'll wait to see what the moderators have this morning as they're throwing out that list, guys. Be patient today. Today's going to be a weird day, I think, being Friday. It's a lot of data already out. I don't think there's anything else new coming out that's going to affect the markets a whole lot. So let's be patient out there as you're looking for trades. I remember now. A lot of our moderators are traveling, so I might not get a big list.
I was just going to say, a lot of them are either in the air or already there, or and haven't figured out the time zone, or heading to the airport. So we got a lot of people in transit today, so it might be a little quiet in the room today as well. Hopefully we'll get a good number of mods. If not, you guys may be hearing me a little bit more than normal, so we try and pick up the slack, but we'll see.
All right. Oh, here it is, Paris. He's looking at Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, Apple, and the overall market for him. So there you have it, friends. All right, guys, over on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you guys and your support. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so. It really means a whole lot to us. That's what we ask you to do. We hate bothering, but I know if I don't remind people, they forget to do it, which is okay, right? You're focused on what's happening. But thank you so much. Have a great weekend. If you're going to Vancouver, cannot wait. We'll have some fun this weekend. We'd love to see you when we get there. And take care.
Take care, everybody. Trade smart.